Hello, peeps. Welcome back to a Big Deck Players Hearthstone podcast adventure thing that we do occasionally. As usual, I am accompanied by Mr. Grayson from Proceed to Checkpoint.
Hello.
And SuperVinh47 from SuperVinh47's channel over on YouTube.
Good morning.
The track SuperVinh47 from the album 47 SuperVinh47 by the artist SuperVinh47,
formerly known as SuperVinh47.
Yeah. So we're here and we're going to talk about some Hearthstone related stuff. First of all, as you can probably tell,
Can we probably tell?
What are we probably telling?
What are we probably telling?
As we're gonna do some heroic bosses in Karazhan.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about. I want to hear your guys' opinions about One Night in Karazhan, the solo adventure that came out.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Like, what do you think of the general kind of things that they did, like the different bosses and stuff? What do you think about the cards? Do you have a favourite card? Do you have a least favourite card?
Ooh.
Thoughts and opinions.
Good question. Grayson,
that's a good question. I need to pull up all the cards here for a second.
Yeah, me too.
Just bear with me 1 second here, because I did no preparation whatsoever.
No, well, that's the best way to do these things. I think is to do it as a more. All right, let's just pull up all the cards. Can we do that? Is that a thing we can do?
I'm gonna pull it up over here.
Just go under search.
Karazhan. Bam. Okay. Done.
I love the concept of the portal cards.
Yes.
I'm sad that Hunter and Priest they don't have enough portal cards for everyone. So I'm just kind of sad about that.
Patrick's pretty good though.
Katrick is really good. But favorite card? I don't know. I mean,
Katrick's good because it actually syncs with the other card or one of the other cards that the hunter gets in the Cloaked Huntress.
True.
Yep.
Yeah. That's fair.
So
well, here's the thing.
So that's pretty good.
Hunter now has 3 traps that spawn minions, right? And I think all of them work really well with the what's his face? 5 mana summons another random beast.
The
Ram Wrangler.
Master? Ram Wrangler.
No,
even.
Ram Wrangler.
Yeah, Ram Wrangler. Yeah.
They sync together so well. Katrick is basically the 4/2 the 3 mana jungle panther. Is it?
Yeah.
Is that the name?
Yep.
Well,
A card that
4/2,
is.
so it's more than 3 mana.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No. It's 3 mana
Yeah, it's a 3 mana 4/2
with stealth. Yeah.
Oh really?
It's a card that is hardly ever used. So Katrick is a good way to bring it back. Also, Cloaked Huntress, I thought that was a battle cry. Turns out it's a constant effect.
It's a constant effect, so as long as it's alive, your secrets don't cost you any mana.
As a hunter, holy crap, man.
Which, with some of the other hunter decks that we saw before Karazhan came out, with the Yogg Load and the Renok Hatson,
Yeah.
being able to use Yogg-Saron in a hunter deck is pretty cool. So, the fact that you can then cast a whole ton of secrets because they don't cost you any mana is pretty cool.
I've also seen Cloaked Huntress be used in standard face hunter decks, which is really weird for me to see, because secrets are sort of passive, they're defensive for the most part.
Yeah, well, not necessarily. I mean,
I guess.
Think about it, if you think about it as a Freezing Trap, for example, is basically like hard removal. And if you're just going face, that means that Freezing Trap is going to remove whatever your opponents played on the board from the board.
And make it more expensive, obviously.
And make it more expensive, so they can't even play it they can't always necessarily play it the next turn. So it just means that your minions that you do have on the board have got that extra level of protection.
I do like, well, actually, yeah, Katrick does sort of fit the face hunter style, because your opponent, say, plays a spell to remove a minion, right? Boom. Your opponent now has to deal with basically a huffer for next turn, right? It's got stealth, and it's very difficult to remove an enemy minion that has stealth unless you have more AoE, right? So you're already spending 2 cards, maybe, to take care of 1 minion, and then you have basically the huffer, which can be boosted with Houndmaster. Right? Make it a 6/4 with taunt. And like, rah! It's great.
And obviously because it's a secret, it also syncs with the Eaglehorn bow for extra durability.
Yeah, it does. True. Yeah, it does.
So, I think Hunter came out pretty well in general. Well, I think these 3 cards that they have are pretty good. I'm seeing Kindly Grandmother being played quite regularly.
Oh, I love Kindly Grandmother.
Hunter. So yeah, I think Hunters have done pretty well out of this solo adventure.
I don't think they've done as well as Warrior has, though. Protect the King is fucking great, as is Fool's Bane and as is Ironforge Portal.
Yeah, I mean, Protect the King with something like Bolster would be amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm currently running as part of
But so far, I've yet to encounter any warriors actually running anything like that.
Well, I currently run a kind of a mishmash Cthulhu / Wallier kind of deck. So it's about like building taunts to kind of protect your Cthulhu cards, like especially Twilight Elder. And then basically, once they've got a bunch of minions on the board, slap down Protect the King, and then slap down Bolster. It's a 5 mana combo for a ton of 3/3s on the board.
Yeah.
It's really good. And if you've got taunt stand before you even play Protect the King as well, like even Tournament Attendee or Goldshire Footman, that instantly becomes a 3/5 or a 3/4, and Tournament Attendee will become a 4/3.
Yep.
So if you got some of those smaller taunts then as well, very useful.
I think Ironforge Portal for 5 mana is really good.
Really good.
Again, these portal cards, they're so good. I think pretty much all of them are quite good. Yeah. Even the Shaman one, which is arguably the crappiest one of the bunch. Like, how many times...
It's not great.
But
if you were to combo the Maelstrom Portal with that legendary... Is it a legendary?
Which legendary?
Yeah, the legendary that the Shaman get. The one that when you deal damage with a spell, you get healed.
Oh, Halaziel the Ascended.
Yeah. So, if you had him out and you use Maelstrom Portal, and your opponent's got like a whole board full of stuff, even if it doesn't necessarily kill it, it's 7 health back to you.
Also, the uptime you get from, say, spell power totems in the regular Shaman, it's often enough that you get a 2 mana Maelstrom Portal. But I think the thing here is, how many times do you run into Zulok that pops, I don't know, that Forbidden Ritual thingy, or how many times you run into a deck where there's a bunch of tokens on the board that you want to clear.
There's been a lot of Paladin decks that have that because of that card that gives everyone Divine Shield.
Yeah,
they've got like 1 health.
Exactly.
Yes.
The Darkshire Steward.
That's the one.
Yeah. I'm glad you remember these names because I've forgotten everything.
Yeah, it's because I use these cards.
Well, as someone who runs a token paladin myself, what I generally tend to do is I'll throw down a load of tokens and then pop Competitive Spirit. And, immediately then I've got a board full of 2/2s as opposed to 1/1s, which kind of gives them that extra little bit of protection.
Yeah.
I see.
That's a good idea.
But yeah, Maelstrom Portal is a great way to deal with all those. Sure, you get a random 1-cost minion, but it's better than like getting a random 2-cost minion and proccing into Doomsayer, say.
Yeah, true.
Which, if you guys...
I'm not sure about the other 2 Shaman cards, though.
Spirit Claws is weird.
It is weird, because, Shaman isn't a deck that typically, looks for spell damage. It's generally powerful enough on its own.
It's good to have,
nice
but you don't need it.
When you have it.
Yeah.
But, most of the time you only really need it when you want to AoE.
Yeah.
That's usually when, like, in my experience anyway, you want to use your Lightning Storm.
Yeah.
And you're like, you totem first, just in the hope that you get
the spell damage.
the extra spell damage. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, really.
Well,
I'm not sure about that.
I'm thinking about it, and
I mean,
it's
if you do run decks with spell damage in anyway, I guess a 1 cost 3 damage 3 durability weapon is actually really, really good.
Yeah, that's true. It's much better than a fiery war axe even.
Yeah.
Yep. I wonder if
But
this is.
you have to have that spell damage on the board all the time.
Yeah.
So I wonder
Otherwise,
if.
it goes back.
Or at
I
least
wonder
for
if
the
Spirit.
lifespan of the weapon. You know?
Yeah.
I wonder if Spirit Claws matches. Is supposed to mesh, like synergize with the design space of the Wicked Witch Doctor.
That's kind of something that I was thinking there for a brief moment as well. But the fact that it summons a random basic totem, it gives you a 1 in 3 chance, or 1 in 4 chance, yeah?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is 1 in 4.
1 in 4 chance to get, your
one that
spell
you want.
damage, which isn't great. It's 25%, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not great, and I don't know. I just don't think the Wicked Witch Doctor. I mean, I haven't seen anyone play the Wicked Witch Doctor, but then I haven't seen many Shaman decks recently when I've been playing. Doesn't necessarily mean there aren't any about, because I'm sure there are, because they're probably all at the top of the ladder.
So here's something. Here's something that
That's probably
noticed.
why I haven't seen them.
Yeah.
Here's something that I just noticed. Rogue is the only class that didn't get a card that says summon a minion. It's the only one. Every other class has a card that summons minions. So it didn't get a Rogue did not get a portal, and they did not get anything like say Onyx Bishop, which summons a friendly minion. They got no summons.
No.
It's very interesting to me. I wonder why.
Well, they're doing more battle cries and death rattles. I mean, they've got the death rattle for because I've seen some rogues playing like death rattle style decks. So they've got another death rattle card.
The
for Deadly
N'Zoth.
Fork. But the Swashbuckler and Ethereal Peddler are just going along with the other cards like Burgle and.
Oh, that's such a good
City
deck.
Peddler, is it?
Which one?
The Peddler?
Oh, yeah.
Ethereal
Dark
Peddler?
I
Oh,
can't remember.
the Undercity Huckster.
Yeah,
yeah.
Undercity Huckster, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to buy a funnel cake?
Buy one.
No.
Yeah, him. Yeah, so I think, at least these will synergize and be better.
Interestingly,
with that.
though, Deadly Fork, the weapon it spawns, is a 3-mana weapon.
Yeah.
It's a 3-mana 3/2, which when I played the Deadly Fork once, I was like, oh, it's it's a 3/2. It's got to be like Fiery War Axe, cost 2, right? Tried to play it, no, nothing. I didn't have enough mana. I miscalculated. So
Yeah, I think that's more because
actually design space wise, it's like hero
I think it's because you
power-
don't have to put the weapon in your deck because it becomes part of the Deadly Fork, right?
And-
so that's why it's a little bit more expensive, maybe.
6 mana, 6/4.
Hmm?
Well,
that's
if
not-
you take the stats and add them together, right?
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, which is not terrible.
I don't
It's
know,
it's
man.
also the exact same cost you would get if you brought out regular knife and played Deadly Poison,
Yeah.
right? So that's probably why they thought this would be
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So you save us. You can take out Deadly Poison, put in a Deadly Fork, and that way you get a minion as well as the desired weapon.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
Maybe.
That's not a bad
But
perspective.
then Deadly Poison's always been there because it's a spell, so it can you can get bonuses with other things because you're casting a spell. But also it's 1 mana, which means
It
quite
combos.
often you can use it as a start to a combo.
Yep, that is true.
And that's why a lot of the times people
Sorry.
will have that instead of having something just like a straight up weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you can't really combo anything off of that so well. Swashbuckler is good for that as well. It's 1 mana, so you can get combos off that. Druid, Moongale Portal, which is awesome.
It's so good.
Restoring 6 health and summoning a random 6-cost minion.
For
There's
6
not
mana,
too many.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
There's not too many bad minions at 6 mana, particularly.
Even the basic
so-
ones are really quite good. You get Lord of the Arena, 6/5 with taunt, or the Boulder Fist Ogre, which is a 6/7, which is just like solid. You know, it's a solid no effect minion, but it's really good.
The beast.
Yeah, of course.
Moonglade Portal is the only portal that summons minions of its level.
Yeah,
All the other
it
ones
is,
summon lesser,
a level below.
Yeah, you're right.
which is really, really powerful.
Or 2 levels below in some cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, the damaged
Yeah.
ones are typically less.
Moonglade Portal, I really, really like. The Enchanted Raven, a 2/2 for 1 is just,
Beast.
that's so good. And it's a beast, which means you can buff it. You can buff it turn 2 with Mark of the Wild or whatever. Or was it Mark of Usage? It was the one where you draw a card as well.
Isn't it?
That's +2/+2 and draws a card, isn't it?
Is it 2/2 and draw a card? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 2/2 and draw a card.
It's 2/2. And
yeah, it's
and
2/2, but it's only draw a card if it's a beast.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So many
so,
beast
yeah.
druids.
So you can play Enchanted Raven turn 1 and buff it up so that it becomes a 4/4 on turn 2, and you draw a card.
Beast Druid's great. I'm really enjoying my one.
So, Menagerie Warden, choose a friendly beast and summon a copy of it.
Again, if you're running a Beast Druid deck, it's pretty great.
It's all good.
It's
all
pretty
Yeah,
good.
I guess if you does it copy over the buffs as well if you
Yes.
buff something?
Yeah, it's a
That's-
direct
that's
copy.
very cool. Excellent. So it's like Faceless Manipulator, but not quite
Yeah.
in that sense.
Only for
So it's
friendly
copies
beasts, but
it.
yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And also, you get the 5/5. Like, it's not like
Exactly.
Yeah,
turn
yeah.
this minion into that beast. It's
So Druids did pretty well. I think Hunters did pretty well. Warriors.
I think Warriors did really well.
I think Warriors done okay in certain decks.
Fool's Bane
Like,
is.
Fool's Bane, I'm not too sure about.
It's very
Just
controlled,
because,
right?
which you don't really see control decks anymore in Warriors because they're too slow, and the current meta is so fast that if you try and play a control warrior, unless you get perfect draw, you're probably going to lose by turn 6.
Yeah, that's true.
You'd need perfect draw. You'd need to get like both your fiery war axes. You'd need to get like as much card draw as you possibly get.
Yep.
Um,
And the ghouls, ravaging ghouls.
to
For
the Ravaging
minor
Ghouls
clears?
and your Acolytes of Pain and stuff, and your Armor Smiths. You'd need all of those cards like really early game, and if you didn't get them, I don't think you would survive. Personally,
Well,
I've tried playing Control Warrior against some of the new Hunter decks and just got absolutely demolished because I just didn't get the cards that I needed. And you in a control deck, if you don't have the cards that you need, you won't win.
Ouch.
Simple as that.
Ouch!
Can we
So,
talk
I think-
about Priest real quick?
Yeah. Okay.
So, Purify.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Initially hated.
I don't get the controversy around it myself. Right? I understand where people are coming from, that Silence is a 0 mana or 0 cost.
So from
card
what
on
I
its
know, the center of controversy, say, is Kripparrian. Like,
yeah?
yeah. As far as I know, like all the videos I've seen, like bashing it, reference him and his initial impressions on that one card. Like everyone else says, like, it's a meh card, but he's
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
hate this. I hate this with a fiery passion. Blah blah. Blah.
Well, that's fine. If that, that's up to him. If he doesn't like the card, then he doesn't like the card. I mean, everyone's going to have different opinions.
But I
It's
think
just that he's quite prominent in the Hearthstone
that's the
community.
thing.
Yep.
So
His-
a lot of
he's
people
so
will go,
influential.
"Oh yeah, well, Crip says it's bad, so it must be bad." It's like, well,
I think
A
he's
lot
kind
of-
of
Here's
he's
the
made a
funny
name
thing.
for himself, right? Talking about value, right? And
Yeah.
card value and things like that, right? A card is only as good as the situation it's in. Right?
Yeah.
So
That-
it doesn't
that
matter
being
how good a value a card is. If you can't fucking use it, it's no good at all.
That being said, when Goblins vs. Gnomes first came out, there were people bashing on Dr. Boom saying no one would ever use it. I think Kripparrian was one of them.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's
but
crazy.
now post analysis, right? They're all like, "Oh my god, Dr. Boom's so OP." But yeah, that's just interesting to see. Purify.
I don't particularly like Purify, but then I guess if you were going to ever use Purify, you'd have to use it in a deck that required you to silence minions. Otherwise, what would be the point?
There's quite a few
Absolutely.
of them running around. Like most of the people who play priests run Purify.
It's a Purify is a card
Mhm.
that you have to kind of. You have to use it in that situation. You can't really use it in any other kind of priest deck.
Nope.
Yeah.
Because why would you want to silence your own minions?
Well,
just to draw a card.
Why wouldn't you, like, in terms of, like, Injured Blade Master and Eerie Statue and things like that?
Injured Blade Master, there's no point in silencing it.
Yeah, he's the battle cry.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but Eerie Statue, yes.
Eerie Statue, if you're running Eerie Statue, then yeah, sure.
If you're running Eerie Statue and a priest, you're based around silence anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
so that's what I'm saying. In those particular kind of decks with like Ancient Watcher and Eerie Statue and stuff like that,
both of which I run.
Would be running.
Ancient Watcher.
Ancient Watcher, yeah.
Ancient Watcher and Eerie Statue, or even a Fell Reaver.
Yeah. Fell Reaver, yeah.
You know, you put those in your deck.
Wild.
You're playing those in order to be able to silence them.
Yes.
So, you know, you would run Purify in that deck. But what I'm saying is, you wouldn't run Purify in any other kind of priest deck.
Yeah.
Whereas
Which kind of comes back to what I'm saying about a card is only as good as the situation in which you can play.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Priest of the Feast, you could probably put that in multiple types of priest deck.
I would put it in my silence deck. Yeah.
Because it's a 3/6 for 4, which is pretty good as far as I'm concerned, as far as stats is concerned. And you're going to be casting spells anyway.
Yeah.
Actually.
So the fact that it can restore health to you is pretty good. It could work with that 3/5 that gets buffed. It could work with the... I can never remember the names of any of these bloody cards.
Oh,
the Holy Champion.
Yes.
Is it the Holy Champion?
Yes.
Yeah, it could work quite well with that. Although obviously, with the next expansion, all of those cards are gone. So, in standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tournament. But that's not until next year.
Priest of the Feast is pretty good until you play Arcanine Soul Priest.
Well, I don't.
Yeah.
Actually, you might run both of them, just not have them both on the board at the exact same time.
Yeah. Onyx Bishop, I've been having some fun with in like a Resurrection
It's
Priest
so
deck.
good in control, like super control priest.
I think it's still a bit costly.
Here's the thing
3,
with
4 for 5,
Onyx
so you
Bishop,
get a
right?
Minion back.
If you want to play
Yeah.
Onyx Bishop on curve, you better have had played something like Injured Blade Master and then let it die, right?
I think that's where the problem. Like the early you can play Onyx Bishop, the better it is, basically. Because, say for example, you're playing your Injured Blade Masters early in the game, and they get killed off. Your Onyx Bishop can bring them back, but obviously by the later the game goes, other minions are going to have died, and maybe
you've diluted the pool essentially.
Yeah, maybe by then one of your Onyx Bishops has already died, so then you play your Onyx Bishop, and then you get another Onyx Bishop back, and it's just like, well, I would have preferred something better,
bigger.
But, you know,
I think you would have to build a deck around the Resurrection, right? Which means
well, that's what I'm saying.
wouldn't...
Like, again, it's just like Purify. It's not a card that you'd necessarily put in every priest deck. Like Priest of the Feast, you could probably put in most priest decks, but
so would you?
I have been having some fun with it. So
would you say that in an Onyx Bishop deck you wouldn't run double Northshire Cleric?
No, you wouldn't.
Okay.
In fact, the deck that I've been using doesn't run Northshire Clerics at all. Where is it? I think I might have accidentally deleted it. Because it wasn't performing very well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was running it in a Resurrection Priest that had like quite a few death rattles and stuff in. It did okay, but it wasn't fast enough to keep up with like aggro shamans or aggro paladins or Zulocks, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, Purify is okay if you're running that kind of deck with silencers and stuff. Otherwise, it's probably not worth bothering with.
what if you're going up against a class that has substantial debuffs? And someone debuffs one of your minions.
Like what?
Like
Corruption is the only one I can think of.
Really?
Oh,
So
it's
what
the
about-
there's the freeze one.
Yeah. There's that.
Yep.
All right.
Freezing
Yeah, but if
effect.
it freezes,
What about
so if
corruption.
but if it freezes something that has like an effect, like Twilight Elder, for example, you're still not going to want to silence it, are you?
what about Edric the Pure? If someone plays Edric and reduces your attack down to 1.
Okay, I think I've seen Edric the Pure get played. I think the last time I saw Edric the Pure get played was during...
Or even if it just comes down to
Determinable.
humility or, the other one.
Yeah, well, I guess, but do you really want to take up slots in your deck?
Aldor
with that,
Peacekeeper.
on the off chance
Aldor
that
Peacekeeper,
happens.
That's good. Well,
I mean,
why
if
not?
you know that you're coming up against paladins, then
But why not have it in
Sure.
there for the other reasons then as well?
well, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. If you're running like a normal, if you're running any other kind of deck other than the one that we were talking about earlier with the Ancient Watchers and the Eerie Statues,
Mm-hmm.
then of course you'd include Purify.
Yeah.
But if you're not running that kind of deck, I'm not sure it's really worth putting it in.
But
Mm.
But why not though, right? All I'm doing is like providing situations in which you can play this card and
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of coming
yeah.
across that it's not as trash as people are saying that it is, right?
No,
so
I
that's
agree
all I'm
with you, it's
doing,
not as that-
right?
but
Whereas you're
but
saying like,
I
oh,
just
why would you
think-
do that? That's absolutely stupid, and I
but
don't
I just-
see why
No,
you
no.
would come across like that when
I'm
we're
not
just
saying
providing
it's stupid.
just viable reasons to play a card. Because again,
not saying
a
it's-
card is only as good as the situation it's in.
I'm not saying it's stupid. I'm just saying for any other kind of deck, there would be better choices for you to put in the deck, or you'd have to take something else out.
Well, yeah, but the same can be said for
to fit it
literally
in.
any deck.
And I just don't think in any other deck other than the one we were talking about that Purifier would be that strong. I think there are stronger cards that you would put in.
But that's again, the same
Okay,
can be
moving
said for
on,
literally
gentlemen.
any deck.
Time.
Well, okay, whatever. We'll agree to disagree.
No, but no, I'm not letting go of this. So
Oh,
you're
Jesus
literally saying,
Christ.
I'm not going to change my mind.
no, I'm not trying to change your mind. Right? What I'm saying is, you can literally say the same thing about any card in any deck.
Yes, you could.
I think that is unimpeachable. It is very true.
Yeah. So what's the point in having this
Exactly.
conversation?
What's the point? Exactly. Let's move on. All right, Paladin. We've got Nightbane Templar.
That's a weird
If
one.
you're holding a dragon, summon some more dragons.
Yeah, 2/1/1 whelps.
Is Dragon Paladin a thing? I don't see many of them.
I run one.
Only if you're Grayson or Brian Kibler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You guys know about Brian Kibler, right?
Nope.
He's a Hearthstone competitor that runs nothing but dragons. Like
Wow.
he runs Dragon Priest, he runs Dragon Paladin. I do believe
Okay.
he's tried to run Dragon Warrior, which with some effectiveness. But yeah, he runs nothing but dragons.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's his thing. He used to be a Magic the Gathering player that did nothing but dragons.
I see.
Oh.
Fair enough.
So he's got a
Why
theme,
break
is what
the
we're saying.
mold.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
he's got a theme.
Is he actually a dragon?
Is he an enemy in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Ooh, you say that, right? You say that, but he does have the bone structure of Seto Kaiba, I would say. He's a very pointy.
That's gone completely above my
What
head.
a description of a
Yeah,
person.
You go. So.
But yeah,
The Silvermoon Portal I think is pretty good.
I do like it.
yeah.
I do like it. Like
Buffing a minion and summoning another one.
compare the Silver Moon
Except
Portal to
it's 2 mana, a 2-cost minion though is incredibly unreliable.
Oh yeah, why would you play it when there's much better cards to play?
No, I'm just saying.
I think you play
Just
it.
saying that when in comparison to the other portals, most of the minions you can get are
Not
probably
Doomsayer.
pretty good.
They're not Doomsayer.
Yeah, you've always got that chance of this pulling a Doomsayer, especially at the most least opportune moment for you. Like,
Well,
Eh,
you-
people play
pulling
Pilot
the-
of Shredder
the
just
game.
fine.
yeah,
Or,
you say that, but everyone and their mother ran Piloted Shredder.
That is true. Yeah,
You know?
that is true.
Plus, this is also buff a minion, so you can trade up or you can go push for lethal.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Nightbane Templar, I just realized, actually synergizes with the Darkshire Stewardess, Darkshire Steward,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
1/1s, and then you get
The only thing is,
instant.
2/1/1 whelps with Divine Shield.
Yep,
They're
you get
both
instant
3
Divine
mana.
Shield, which you
Yeah, they're
can
both 3 mana.
then combine with Rallying Blade to give them both +1. So now you have 2/2s with Divine Shield.
Mhm.
Ivory Knight, however, I don't know how I feel about that.
The spell is from your class only, isn't it?
So unless you
Yeah.
stole this as another class, then like
The thing is, though, it's
There's
discover
a
a
lot
spell.
of 1-cost spells that you could get.
Yeah, but it's discover a spell. You don't necessarily have to go for that one that costs 1. Right?
yeah.
No, of course. No,
So,
of course.
I'm
I mean, you might it might be lay on hands.
Yeah,
You might be able to discover a lay on hands, and then you get healed for 8 because of that,
and then plus 8.
and then you get another lay on hands later in the game to use. So it's one of these. It could be really good if the 3 that you get to choose from are of value,
Mm-hmm.
or it could be really bad because it might just give you 3 secrets.
Oof. Well,
But 4/4 for 6. If it was 4/5 for 6, or even a 5/4 for 6, I think that would have been better.
Yeah, because like if you look at other 6 mana cards that work quite well with Paladin, like not Mysterious Challenger, but what is it, Grand Champion? That gives you a random Paladin card.
Mm-hmm.
It's 5/5 for 6, and it gives you a card. You know, so
Sunwalker that's a 4/5 with Taunt and Divine Shield
For
with
6, yep.
mana.
yeah. And it does have 2 effects. It does give you a spell, so it's draw, and it does heal as well. So I can,
Or even if it was like a 3/6 maybe, or a 3/7. Just like I just think a 4/4 is not very.
it's not compelling, is it?
It's not very. It's not very as interesting as like something like with odd.
I think they're justifying it
numbers or
on
something.
the additional effect, the second
On the
effect,
Discover?
Yeah,
you know?
I guess so.
You know,
Yeah.
I
like
mean,
it's a battle cry.
yeah.
It's uncontested. You discover a spell, so it gives you that bit of variety that you can select the correct
suppose
card
it-
for this
yeah.
situation. You
Yeah.
get health back, and you get a card. So that's 4 things really.
We spoke about that one. Warlocks.
Malchazar's Imp is something that I've been waiting for fucking ages, and
It's
now
so
I'm going
good.
to use it to kind
It's
of.
so
And the
good.
Silverware Golem goes with it quite nicely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can
I've
actually.
seen quite a few decks. I played a deck. Have I still got it here? No, I think I must have got rid of it.
Can't wait to
No,
spam
I think
Fist of Jaraxxus.
I think I added it into my Zoolock deck, so I just didn't rename it. So in this, I've got Malchazar's Imp. I've got a couple of Soulfires so that I can discard the random card. I've got the Darkshire Librarian, so you discard a random card when you play it, and then you draw a card when it dies. Darkshire Councilman, which is pretty good as well, and 2 Silverware Golems.
Succubus?
So, yeah, so you've got a good... I mean, I've been able to get both my Silverware Golems out because of discarding it, without too much issue.
Lobanel Void
and
Terror in there as well.
Yeah, you could put a Void Terror in there as well. Defender of Argus works quite nicely because they're already 3/3s, so putting a Defender of Argus in between them, making them 4/4 with taunts,
Pretty good.
pretty cool.
I'm surprised.
But yeah, this deck has been working pretty well. It's literally just the same as like a Zoolock, but they've just you just change a couple of cards around.
Yeah,
and
I'm
off
surprised
you go.
you're not running Forbidden Ritual in that one.
Well, yeah, I think
You didn't like it so much?
I don't mind Forbidden Ritual, but in order to get the Darkshire Librarian and Malchazar's Imp, and
Okay.
adding Soulfire in there as well, because originally they didn't have Soulfire. I've taken out God's sake, I cannot remember. Power Overwhelming. I've taken that out.
Mm-hmm.
Put Soulfire in, so that I get that discard a random card. And then we obviously got Doomguard, which discards random cards as well. So yeah, there's plenty of ways to discard the silverware golems, and obviously every time you do, if you've got Malcazar's Imp on the board, you draw another card, which means you don't have to tap quite as much. So yeah, it's been working pretty well so far. Darkshire Councilman maybe isn't as strong because you don't have that card that you just mentioned.
Also, people sort of just expect Darkshire Councilman at this point, so they're holding all their cards, to wipe them off the board easy.
You still got the Imp Gang Boss, and
Yep.
with Darkshire Councilman, if you discard a card and it happens to be the Silverware Golem, then that comes out onto the board as well. So I think it's been working pretty well for me when I've been playing it. So yeah, it's not bad.
Karazhan.
This is so puzzling.
Right? Like, Grayson and I were talking about this earlier. It's, you might make an argument for it being in a zoo deck, but it's so late.
So late.
It's so late for what you get. You get a 1/1 candle, a 2/2 boom, a 3/3 teapot. Like, it's for 5 mana in a zoo deck? That's so slow.
With that said, Darkshire Councilman is 5 mana as well, isn't it?
No, it's 3.
3?
3 mana.
Yep. Yep.
It could work in conjunction with that then. I guess. But
yeah, and Knife Juggler.
Yeah. But by 5 mana, you should probably have swarmed the board anyway,
Yeah. Like, what would you take out for it if you were playing Zoo?
If I was playing the Zoo that I have been playing, which has got the Silverware Golem and the Malcazar's Imp, I don't think I'd bother putting it in, to be honest. Maybe switch it out. Maybe take out one of the Doom Guards and put it in instead of one of the Doom Guards. But I like having the Doom Guards. They're
good
they're
finishers.
pretty cool.
Yeah, they're really good
5/7, 5 with charge.
Yeah, you'd be pretty mad to replace a Doom Guard with Karazhan.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think there's anything else I'd want to swap it with.
Like if I saw you do it right now, I would immediately question all decisions going forward.
You okay?
Not that I don't do that already, but still.
No, I know. I just think, for 5 mana, you've got Abusive Sergeants, which are better than the 1/1. You've got Dark Peddlers, which are better than the 2/2. And you've got, Imp Gang Boss or Darkshire Councilman, which are better than the 3/3s. And that's only 6 mana.
I suppose it's technically 6/6 across 3 minions, for 5 mana.
Yeah, that's true. But it's not like they have. It's not like they have charge or anything.
That's the other side of it, yeah. So It's not like you can do that and then.
You have.
It's not Call of the Wild, right?
It's not Call of the Wild.
Yeah, it's really not. It's really not Call of the Wild. Call of the Wild will buff everything else you've got on the board and have a charge minion.
And it'll buff itself.
And a taunt.
I was about to say that it's the poor man's Call of the Wild, but that's kind of an insult to the poor man's Call of the Wild.
Yeah.
It's really not good. I don't think we'll see anyone playing this unless there's some kind of fancy new meta that emerges that uses it. But
we've said this kind of thing before, and it's kind of come back to bite us in the ass.
So here's the thing. For each of these cards, you have a design theory, right? So what is the theory behind this card? What meta are they trying to push onto Warlock?
I think it might be just if you include this in your deck, maybe someone uses a whole bunch of removal to get rid of a whole bunch of your cards. Then if you play this,
so it's a refresher.
Get 3 minions back on the board,
right?
So you can start again.
Maybe they're planning to release a card in the future that reads, "If you have Karazhan in your deck, you automatically win."
Maybe.
What if it's like a Warlock card that says I don't know, Attack of the Demonic Silverware, right?
Yeah.
And you have Karazhan. It's if you have a candle, a broom, and a teapot, give them all +4/+4. It's
and then the saber dance starts playing in the background. It's
yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
No, I don't like it either.
It's such a strange card. I'm curious to see what people think of it and how they use it, though, because I know there are going to be people who try to make it work.
I can't wait until they remove it from Arena.
Okay, right. We're going to have a quick fire round on the neutral ones, because this has already been going on longer than I was
Okay,
hoping.
but to answer your question, Malkazar's Imp is my favorite card.
Okay, good.
Cool.
Vin, have we got to your favourite card yet?
Bookworm.
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 Yeah, Bookworm's
Bookworm.
pretty good. Yeah.
Bookworm. I like Bookworm
Which one's
because
the
I'm making
Bookworm?
a dragon mage deck that I call the Khaleesi.
Oh.
Where's the Bookworm? Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
6 mana dragon. If you're holding a dragon, destroy an enemy minion with 3 or less attack.
It's cool.
Yeah,
It's like
I like-
that's pretty good.
I
reminds me-
love
it's
his...
Stampede Kodo, right? Except
I like the
dragon.
art for it
Yeah,
as
I
well.
love the art and his...
with his little reading glasses.
Yeah, and he's reading this tiny little book. He's like, yes, what
They
a
don't
lovely
make-
read.
His,
don't make books
his
for that.
favourites are classic tragedies like The Hobbit and Grendel. That's good. Alright, so let's have a quick fire. Okay, on the neutral ones. Okay, Arcane Anomaly. Arcane Anomaly.
Oh yeah, whenever you cast a spell, give this minion +1 health. Keep it on the board. Best luck with it.
Good luck.
Yeah, but
Good luck.
good luck with that.
Yeah.
Runic Egg.
Have no
Meh.
idea what it's about.
Meh. It's
Yeah, I
it's like
don't-
a secondary. It's like you have to buff it, right?
Yeah, but
You have to buff it. It's not even a dragon egg. So
No,
meh.
it's yeah.
Nether Spite.
Another Spy Historian.
I run her in
God.
Khaleesi. She's actually quite good. If you need to pull
Yeah.
if you need to pull
Yeah, if you're-
that 3/6 with taunt, if you have a dragon, what's it called? Twilight Guardian.
yes.
If you need to
Yeah.
pull Twilight Guardian or one of the late game legendaries, that she's very good to have. I run
Maybe
two.
a new
I
addition
run
to
two of
my
them.
It's
like
an
Hallowed
interesting
Dragon's deck.
stat line as well. You don't really see too many
2 mana.
1/3s.
Yeah, she trades good for early. She trades very well for early minions, especially
holding
since I
dragons,
run a
very
mage,
great.
right?
Alright. Pompous Thespian.
Meh,
Eh,
meh.
3/2 with taunt.
It's
Meh.
no Annoyotron, you know?
Yeah,
Just,
Well, obviously.
Give me my
that's
Annoyotron's
Annoyotron's head.
you know?
you are not. Alas, poor Neutron. No, you're not.
Morose.
Hello!
Morose. At the end
Morose
of your turn, summon a 1/1 Steward. He's a 1/1 mana for 3.
with stealth. Meh.
Stealth. Eh.
He
good
has to be a
tokens.
combo card.
Good
Like
job.
he has to have a specific strategy in mind. Otherwise, he's no good.
Hmm.
Pantry Spider. I
I saw someone use one of these the other day.
I like it.
I like it.
It was kind of a pain in the ass because it had 3 health and it
And has a one.
All my-
Yeah, it has a spider
all
companion.
my like AOE was just like doing 2 damage or 1 damage. So
Yup.
it's just like taking me forever to get rid of them.
Yeah.
They're-
But it wasn't too much of an issue because they were only doing 1 damage. So it's just like, well,
They're just like regular spiders.
I'll take out the other things first, and then I'll take these out later. But they are beasts, so I guess if you've got things that combo well with beasts,
I
it might
run
be
them
okay,
in my warrior deck because I'm me.
but- Yeah, of course you do. Violet Illusionist.
Good-
4/3.
Good for
3.
rogues, warriors, and warlocks.
Yeah, I went up against someone there the other day that was playing one.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yep.
Mm.
Violet Illusionist combined with Fool's Bane, you can
yes,
clear the
That's
board.
exactly what happened.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep. During your
Yeah,
turn.
yeah, that's really good.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good. Zubot, Battlecry, give a random friendly beast, dragon, and murloc +1/+1.
I love it. It's so
I
cute.
wonder what kind of deck Blizzard are trying to push on us with this expansion.
It's a mech, which most of the other mech cards kind of died with GBG, so
Yep, that's
Yeah.
true. But
Cool,
it's
I know
so
what you're
cute.
trying-
Look at that little dragon.
it is very, very cute art, but why would you run beasts, dragons, and murlocs?
The Murloc is taking
Like,
the picture.
how many cards do you have in your deck? Like to make, I mean, you can make a good beast deck, and you can make a good dragon deck, and you can make a good murloc deck.
I'm going
Can
to.
you make a good beast, dragon, murloc deck?
Homework for
I'm
next
going
week,
to
so.
prove you wrong, Matt. I'm going to prove
Maybe.
you wrong.
I mean, I guess you could, but I think you'd have to be. I think it would have to be a paladin deck.
Yeah.
Ooh, I
reckon
will
so.
definitely prove you wrong then.
Well, for the
Oh, really?
for the dragons and murlocs anyway, it would have to be. I think the paladin would be the strongest for having dragons and murlocs in the same deck together.
Oh my god. Okay, so what you're basically saying is I have to stream this one deck that I've been tinkering with.
I don't know. The thing is, it's like.
No, it's okay.
I just don't know. You could get enough of the good of each.
It's okay.
Like,
let's
of
move
those
on.
things to.
I'll
make
sit
it-
on this thought.
Okay, the Arcana Smith,
I like him.
3/2 for 4.
Very good.
We summon a 0/5 minion with taunt.
I'm gonna say trash.
I use him in my Cthulhu deck, which is very slow on defense early game. He's actually quite good for just stopping stuff until you get, board clear.
I've had the exact opposite experience with that.
Really?
In terms of anyone who's come up against me that's played an Arcana Smith, I've just wiped it out pretty much immediately.
Did you already have the board under control by then?
Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
That's because it's my board, Vin.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I like him. He's good for just
it's
stalling.
like it gives you like a slightly better version of that dude that was a 0/4.
Yeah, the shield bearer.
But-
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you a slightly better shield bearer. But for 4 mana, I mean, obviously, if you're looking at it in terms of raw stats, that's a 3/7 for 4, which normally would be great. In fact, personally, I'd much rather just have a 3/7 for 4.
With taunt.
No, not necessarily with taunt. Just a 3/7 for 4 would be much better than a 3/2 and a 0/5.
A slightly better Oasis Snapjaw for 4 mana.
It would be slightly better, yeah. Oasis Snapjaw is 2/7.
I'd much rather have one of those because then you can do more with it than a 0/5 that you literally just leave on the board and you have to then spend more mana to buff it.
But his shield talks.
I don't care.
I am glorious.
No, you're not.
Yep.
Shut up.
except it's not, and it gets crushed on the turn 5.
Oh,
What
that's
does he say when he
heartbreaking.
dies? Because you're probably going to hear that very quickly.
I actually don't
I
know.
was glorious, but actually I'm not.
Some things are too glorious for this world.
You lied to me, Arcanosmith, because the battle cry is, "Behold my glorious invention!" The shield replies, "I am glorious!" His death should be, "You lied to me."
Barnes
is
3/4
good.
for 4, so not bad with the stats. I mean, we've seen quite a few 3/4 for 4 and 3/4s for 3, so it's not too bad. But you get a 1/1 copy of a random minion in your deck.
If you stack your deck with like rags
Death
or
rattles.
not even death rattles,
How
like
can you
just
stack your
any.
deck with rags?
If you stack your deck with card, you
Yeah, just put all the rags in there.
It's like
Let's-
29
There's
rags
and,
and 1 Barnes.
and there's the other one. Right, okay, that is my deck stacked
We have-
with rags.
angry
2 cards.
rag, we have happy rag, we have dirty rag.
Jesus.
Oh, very good.
Bad rag.
Yeah,
But-
I think a 1/1 copy of a random minion in your deck. You
imagine
have to be
if
running
you-
predominantly death rattles, I think, to get the most out
Yeah.
of
It could be death rattles,
and
or
a Nazoth.
I've seen that one Trollden video that had Barnes come out with a 1/1 Yasharaj. Yasharaj,
Yeah, or something like that. Something that has. Obviously, it can't be a death rattle because you won't get the benefit of the death rattle. No, battle cry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
yeah. But if you stack your deck with like really powerful effect minions, then yeah. Oh yeah.
Death rattles and powerful effects. Then it's
It could be
pretty
really good in that Death Rattle Rogue.
Oh yeah. Unless you pull Nazoth.
Let's not talk about that.
True, but yeah, it's random. Like a lot of other things in this game,
Alright.
it's a random thing.
We only
it
have-
could work out really, really, really great and could win you the game, or it could work out really, really bad and you lose.
But
the
at
game.
least you
So,
have fun doing it.
Yup. Avian Watcher.
Avian Watcher, 3/6 for 5.
Pretty good.
Not too bad.
Pretty good.
If you control a secret, gain +1 and taunt.
He mostly watches light
So,
romantic comedies.
A 4/7 with taunt, provided you've got a secret.
Yeah,
For
I like it.
5 mana. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, no, that's just a generally good taunt, right?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yep,
Not bad.
I like it.
Considering it's so rare, it's not bad. All right. Menagerie Magician, give a random friendly beast, dragon, and murloc +2/+2.
Oh
no
yeah.
Use that in whatever kind of deck you're going to build. Whatever monstrosity you're going to build.
Oh, I've already built it. I've already built it.
I don't get it. Prince Malchezaar, when the game starts, add 5 extra legendary minions to your deck.
Played against it last night. Didn't even
I've
get
seen
the
some
legendaries.
people.
Again, it's random, so as to what you're going to get. So you might get some really good legendaries.
He got Cho.
You might not.
He got Lore Master Cho and gave me a ton of spells.
Yep.
So yeah, okay, you might end up with Cho and
Nat Pagel.
So there was some talk about
Captain
this.
Greenskin.
So,
In what situation would he be good? If you're running like super controls and hoping to get a lot of late game legendary?
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it is 5 extra cards in your deck. So if you're playing a control deck that often goes to fatigue,
Yeah.
an extra 5 cards is going to help with that.
But in practice, have you guys seen him?
I've played a few games with him.
I played against him.
I put him in this deck, which is literally just legendaries and a couple of innovates and a couple of wild cards.
grief.
And you got 5 extra legendaries.
And I got 5 extra legendaries.
But it won't duplicate them, right? It'll only play 5 originals.
Wait, how are you gonna have Hogger but not the other one?
The better
not
Hogger.
not the evil Hogger.
The way better Hogger.
Yeah.
Is it how much is what's the mana
It's
cost?
6 as well, isn't it?
It's 7.
is it?
It's
Well,
7
is it
mana,
7?
6/6.
Maybe I'll put. I don't know. Maybe I don't have it. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Play good Hogger.
Yeah, play the evil Hogger. Everyone likes the evil Hogger.
Play good evil Hogger.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Book
Bookworm, which we've already talked
my
about.
favorite card. So cool.
The moat lurker.
Fuck off.
Battlecry, destroy a minion. Death rattle, resummon it.
I don't like it.
So you could put this in the priest deck with your purify.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, true, yeah.
So you
That's-
Or
battlecry,
you can
destroy
put it-
something,
or you can
then
put
you
it
purify
with,
it so that the death rattle doesn't exist, which means
That card is gone
it
forever.
doesn't come back. Yep.
that's
Or
true,
you
actually,
could conversely put it in a rogue deck that has Shadow Step.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Get rid of 2, yeah.
Moat Lurker, Shadow Step, boom. And then it's ready to go for the next minion.
But would then, would that death rattle resummon the
Original.
second one?
No,
but not
it
the
would
first
not.
One?
In the
Or
same
would it resummon both of them?
in the same way, when you take a card back up to your hand, it loses all buffs. It loses whatever minion it has.
Yeah.
So you could literally just play this, destroy something, return it to your hand.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yep.
Then that thing never comes back.
It never comes back.
Okay. Well, in that respect, it's quite good. But I just wish it wasn't 6 mana.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Well, I think that's sort of the point.
expensive. But then I guess
Compare it with
they increased the mana cost of Big Game Hunter, didn't they?
To 5,
He's 5 mana.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't see any big game hunters anymore.
I saw
really.
the one, but that was it.
It's
I
also
saw-
quite rare to see a silence of any variety at the moment, I found.
Outside of Priest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're so hard. Like, once Ironbeak Owl got that nerf, no one wanted to bother anymore. There were so many
Yeah.
better
I
cards.
still
Occasionally
run
see
Iron
the-
Big Owl. I still think
Yeah.
it's a decent
Occasionally you
deck.
see the 4 mana one. The
Shield
one that I
Breaker?
Oh, the
Or,
Spellbreaker.
Spellbreaker. Yeah. See him occasionally.
Spellbreaker's good.
I've always liked Spellbreaker.
All right, another one for Vin's deck of weirdness.
Yeah.
The Curator.
The Curator. Battlecry, draw a beast, a dragon, and murloc from your deck.
Please
So
return
in-
the exhibits to their displays.
In the adventure, when you play Reno Jackson in the Curator fight, the Curator replies, "Scum detected. Reno Jackson is not allowed in the menagerie."
Awesome.
Yep.
That's
I
good.
just I saw it was so good.
So a stat line is pretty bad.
For
A 4/6 for 7 is pretty bad, but I guess because you're getting Taunt and
3 cards
card
from your
draw,
deck.
that's why it's 7.
And it's a mech, as if that counts for anything these days.
Yeah.
Well, you still have the Clockwork Knight.
Oh, yay!
Yay! That's all we
Yeah,
got.
but you won't draw into it
No, you will not.
because it's beasts, dragons, and murlocs.
Nope.
So.
Gorilla Bot.
All right.
Guys, you're forgetting about Gorilla Bot.
Oh yeah, that's true. Gorilla Bot. The forgotten one.
No one gives a fuck about Gorilla Bot.
I don't know. And then we've got Medivh the Guardian, 8 mana, 7/7.
I was
Atiesh, great stuff of the
fanboying
Guardian.
so hard.
I like that.
What does Atiesh do
It's
again?
like it's when you play it when you cast a spell, it summons a random
It's a summoning
minion
portal.
of that.
Right.
Yeah, like a summoning portal.
It's a summoning portal without having to have one in your deck, because those are super hard to keep up.
Mm.
But
I think it's pretty cool.
also,
a 7/7 for 8 isn't too bad either.
also, drumroll. This is the very first weapon that Mage has.
Oh, shit the bed.
Yeah, well, it's a neutral card, so it could be the very first weapon that anyone has.
That's true, but
If they
thematically,
don't only have
But
weapons.
let's be honest here.
yeah,
It's gonna be a Mage
thematically,
card.
it's gonna be a Mage, because it's freaking Medivh, man.
Well, yeah.
It's not like Medivh, the priest.
What happens if you are Medivh and you play Medivh the Guardian?
The world implodes. Twisting Nether happens, and all your cards disappear.
Sweet.
I hope he. No, I
And then-
I really hope he has a special thing, special voice line where it's like, "Oh, I see. I'll have to get involved" or something like that.
Or Imposter!
Oh yeah.
I mean, technically, this Medivh is very different from the Medivh that you get to play as a
Yeah, 'cause
hero.
he's
Yeah.
corrupted and shit.
So, yeah, might be interesting.
Oh, maybe it's like he opened a time portal or something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And then finally, we have the Arcane Giant,
So good.
which
Pretty good,
costs
yeah.
one less for each spell that you've cast this game.
It's so
Probably
good.
one of the better giants.
If you're playing it in a spell-heavy deck,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, great.
Arcane Giant Yogg-Saron.
Oh man.
Hmm. I have been tempted to change out some of the stuff that I've got in this deck, although it's been working pretty solidly.
Babbling
because
Book-
I've got Yogg-Saron in here.
I don't particularly like Babbling Book for anything outside of like a pure spell Yogg style deck.
Yeah, well,
Like-
that's what this is essentially.
I tried
No,
putting
I
it
quite
in.
like him. I quite like Babbling Book in my
It's really good, like early game. Late game, obviously, it's a bit trash,
Yeah.
but
Unless you get
if
Pyroblast.
you're well, yeah.
But then
obviously,
you're down to 9 mana because you've already played Babbling Book.
Oh,
You can't
yeah.
do
damn
the
it.
next turn.
No.
So early game, I've only put. That's why I only put one in, because if I can get this early game, then it's great, and if not, then
Yeah.
I've only got one Firelands Portal and one Karbalist's Tome. Karbalist's Tome can be great if you can get another Karbalist Tome in them.
Oh,
Just
if you're
chain
playing
Kabbalist tomes.
Yeah, no, I've done it once. I got 3.
Kabbalist Tome.
So I did. I played Kabbalist Tome. I got 1 in it.
You got
I played another one. I got another Kabbalist Tome, and then I played that, but I didn't get another one after.
Aw.
But I got a chain of 3, so that was
that's great for Yogg, right?
yeah.
But-
So Yogg-Saron just went on for ages.
He's
but
just like, feed me.
the problem I have with Yogg-Saron is that he'll either win you the game or he'll lose you the game.
Oh, yeah.
There is no, and like more often than not, he'll lose you the game. Like I win more games with this deck without playing Yogg than I do with playing.
I don't doubt that for 1 second. Because you're basically just going, Aaron Jesus, take the wheel! And, there's no real...
I played a game with him earlier, and I was down to 15 health. I had 3 minions on the board. My opponent had 1, and they were on 22 health. He healed them to full and took me down to 10.
Wow.
So that was fun, and killed all my minions.
Oh wow.
And then my opponent had managed to... had played Nefarian earlier in the game and got a Pyroblast, so I died.
I thought you were going to say, I immediately played Yogg-Saron, and he immediately played Pyroblast and Fireball to kill me.
No, but he
might as
he
well
did take
could've.
my damage
Yeah.
down. Yeah, so yeah, he lost me the game. I mean, I was probably going to lose anyway because the other guy had a Pyroblast and I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I think I might take Yogg-Saron out and put in those giants instead
Good call.
because they're more reliable.
Yep.
At the end of the day.
Oh yeah.
I'm
way more.
going to be going to be casting a lot of spells, so they're going to be really like cheap by the time it comes to playing.
Are you going to put in more than one giant?
I would say put in 2. You have 10 spells by the time you hit 3 mana.
Maybe.
Like,
I'm not sure what else I would take
That's
out
the thing.
to put another one in.
Mouse over Cold Sorcerer there?
spell
Sorry?
power.
Could you mouse over Cold Sorcerer?
Cult Sorcerer. Yeah, is
Spell power,
plus,
dude. With
yeah,
Arcane
it's extra
Blast?
spell damage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Arcane Blast then becomes 4 damage.
Yep.
That's value.
Yeah.
I would.
Because I've got one Cult Sorcerer and one Blood Mage Thalnos, you see, so...
You have a. I would say even take out an Acolyte of Pain.
Yeah, I was just thinking that myself.
Because you have an
Yeah.
awful lot
so
of card
much draw. So much draw.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
would say-
But you need it, though, in this deck, because
Yeah.
quite often your Flame Wakers won't be near the front of your hand.
Oh.
Or in your hand or at the front of your deck. They'll be towards the end. So you kind of... That's why there's a lot of draw in there, because you're kind of drawing to try and get those out so that you can then cast like a ton of spells with Sorcerer's Apprentice on the board.
Okay.
So
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
I don't know. I'll have a play around with that one.
Cool.
But that's kind of my go-to deck at the moment. All right, so that's all of that then. That's all of the cards.
That's all of the
So,
cards.
Done.
Except for Medi's Valet.
I personally was a bit underwhelmed with the whole adventure.
I thought it was great fun, but I thought it was very easy.
It was very
It's super easy. Good grief.
Very, very easy.
I love the
in
writing.
previous ones, I'd have to like do 2 or maybe 3 times to kind of figure out exactly what was going on, and then either build a deck to do it or like figure it out. So then I could just go, right, okay, this is how it's done. I didn't really have that.
No.
I didn't have to make mini decks. I just used the decks that I already had, and they just seemed to work. There seemed to be certain fights where if you put a taunt on the board, your AI opponent just wouldn't do anything really. Like they'd draw cards, or they might play cards, and then that'd be it. They wouldn't actually attack or anything. I'd be like, so if I just put a taunt on the board, I just win.
Open up a
'cause you're not
heroic
doing
match.
anything.
Well, while we're talking about this.
So yeah, I was a little bit. Let's just do this first one. I was a little bit just kind of like, okay, is that it? Have I done it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I one-shot pretty much most of them.
I think the chess one I did twice just because I didn't really understand what was going on the very first time, and then the second time I was like,
yeah.
It was great fun though. It was so
Chess
good.
was fun.
all of the fights I really enjoyed, but I just found them that they were all really easy.
Chess on heroic is damn right hard.
Yeah?
Have you guys tried it?
I've not touched it.
Not yet.
So you still have limited cards, right? You have limited pieces. Your opponent does not. And the hero power, instead of discovering a chess piece, it's castling. You move a chess piece to the left. For when your opponent activates their hero power, which kills the leftmost minion.
Last time,
Yes.
It's super hard. Like, you don't have draws, you don't have additional chess pieces, you have what you have. Good luck. And honestly, the castling one is... The castling hero power is not good. It's not good at all. It's so hard. It's so hard. I mean...
I look forward to giving it a go.
Yeah, no, I think you guys might enjoy it. If you're looking for a really hard difficulty, play chess on heroic mode. I would say that's the hardest heroic. Because everything else you can build a deck around. Interesting fights.
Let's talk about the arena changes.
Yes.
So,
care to spell it out first, Grayson?
yeah, so basically they made this big post on Hearthstone.com the other day about how in arena they felt that there was room for improvement. Quoting the site now. When you first enter arena, you're offered the choice of 3 different classes. Goal is to take a look at those choices and choose any class without feeling disadvantaged because of their difference in power level. Based on feedback we received on arena, it's centered around class balance. For the last few content releases, Mage and Rogue have bounced back and forth as the top 2 most played and most powerful classes. Paladin has been in a tier by itself below Mage and Rogue, while the last 6 have done some shifting around in A tier below these 3. So what are they doing to address these balances? Well, they are removing cards from Arena, essentially. Every class except for Paladin is having a bunch of cards removed. It seems as though every class is getting at least, well, Mage and Rogue, because they're in a class of their own, are getting minimal changes for some reason, even though they're trying to address balance.
Yeah, they're like two of the strongest ones in Arena from what I'm aware of.
But they're only removing 2 or 3 cards from each of those for some reason. And then for all the other classes, except for Paladin, they're getting like 6 or 7 cards. And their idea behind this is to basically remove these cards from the pool so that you're getting like some of the highest rated cards that are the most picked cards for these classes. That doesn't sit well with me. Like, the whole idea of Arena to me is to face that kind of adversity, to not necessarily know what you're going to get, to not necessarily be able to construct a deck, and to not necessarily know what you're going to be coming up against. To me, that's the point. By removing cards from that pool, you're kind of... And granted, it's only 6 or 7, that's fine. But, you know, if they continue along this trend, as they seem to be looking to do, you know, it's just going to kind of seem as though they're looking for people to play very specific decks, or kind of bend to the will of the community that, oh, I don't like this card in Arena. They're like, oh, well, I'll just get rid of this then. It'll remove the interesting element of Arena and make Arena not Arena. You know?
I think what, like, I took a look at the list, right, and it seemed as though they were sort of concentrating some of the decks, like the lesser played decks. They're removing dead cards, like from Shaman. You're removing Totemic Might. You're removing a lot of. Actually, let me, Grayson, can you link that?
Yeah, sure thing.
In the chat.
Balloons, Morose, we forgot the balloons.
Sir,
balloons
terrify.
So they're removing, for Shaman, they're removing Vitality Totem, Dust Devil, Totemic Might, Ancestral Healing, Dunewall Shaman, and Windspeaker. Right? Windspeaker grants a card win for you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Like,
Dunewall, like, okay, I can already pick off 3 cards here that Shaman will never draft ever in Arena.
But
Vitality
it all depends
Totem?
on the other cards that you see in front of you, because you're always given a choice of 3.
Let me rephrase that then. These cards that I'm picking out are like very low on all the Arena ranking cards, right? All the Arena ranking Excel sheets, charts, whatever. These are all very low. Ancestral Healing, Totemic Might, Vitality Totem. Already 3 there that are culled, and it sort of concentrates the quote-unquote good card pool that Shaman would have. Whereas for Mage and Rogue, the cards that they're removing, more often than not, very good value, but they're not game-breaking. Right? So, Forgotten Torch, Snow Chugger, Faceless Summoner, all really, really good cards that are Mage-specific. You know, so in that way, you're sort of toning it down on Mage. You're saying like, okay, you clearly have too much power because Fireland's Portal is only a common.
And he didn't torch the
If you
light.
draft that in Arena, that's a really good card to draft in Arena. Whereas Rogue, you know, Goblin Auto Barber is actually quite good early game removal.
It is.
Undercity Valiant, I'm surprised at that one. It's not that powerful. It's kind of a meh card. 3/2 combo, deal 1 damage. Meh. But Shaman, they are cutting, like, almost no one I know would draft Dust Devil.
I drafted Dust Devil. And it won me a match once. So,
Oh,
in
wow.
Arena, yeah. Like,
But-
in fact, we actually recorded it up on the channel.
For every other
2 or 3
player.
matches.
For every other player, though, they would not draft Dust Devil. It's a very high risk, high reward that gets removed so easily, and you're locked down 2 mana for the next turn. Warlock. Let's see. Yeah, Sacrificial
Golem.
Pack, Anima Golem, Sacrificial Pack. All cards get based on Curse of Rapham. Jesus Christ, no. Sense Demons. Yeah. Reliquary Seeker. Oh yeah, that's the combo card. Get
Yeah.
+5/+5 if you have all these other minions. Succubus, I'm surprised to see removed.
Succubus is a good card. It's
Yeah.
just a really good card.
I'm
Granted,
surprised
it's
to see
the
that.
discard, but isn't that the one that it's discard a card and it's a 4/3 for 3 or
Yes.
something like that? Yeah.
Druid, Savagery. Like they're removing cards that depend on another condition. You know,
Yeah,
which
but-
is good.
Is it though? Like the whole point of Arena is that you could draft anything, right? And
But
it's up
here's
to
the
you,
thing, though.
it's up to you to face that adversity and make those cards work.
You can
That's-
draft anything. It's just
Yeah.
that for certain classes, they have a higher amount of good arena cards. Like Mage has pretty much always dominated because it has a lot of good removal cards. Right? It has so many of them.
But
And so they're trying to balance it out a little bit. I can understand where they're coming from. It's just, this is where they're trying to balance it out.
but to me, it's not the spirit of Arena.
No, it's not. Not at all.
Right? It's not what was originally intended. It's not the spirit of Arena generally to kind of go out there and play against anything. Which is what I enjoy about it, right? And this will substantially decrease my enjoyment of Arena personally, right? And granted, I might be in a minority. I'm not going to say that my opinion is the be all and end all, right? But I would wager that there's people out there that feel the same.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like I like having to try and come up with combos on the fly. Like fucking the antique heal bot, recombobulated, that kind of thing. So I get the 8 mana heal, and then I recombobulate it, a 5 mana 3/3 into like a fucking salty dog or something like that, right? That's what I like. I like coming up with those kinds of things on the fly. I was like, I'm drafting this because it seems pretty good. This might be useful at some stage, and it turns out that I come out with this great, really good combo on the fly. And it's like, now that I know that, I might take a look at doing that in constructed and building something around that. And now they're kind of removing those kinds of crazy good elements, those kinds of thinking on the fly kind of things.
I think the thinking on the fly will always be there. It's just there's like we've been saying, they're just concentrating the pool, right? They are, instead of having so many good cards for this one class, they're sort of evening the pool of cards for every class, right? You're concentrating the shamans, the lower, quote unquote, lower tier classes, and you're removing some good cards, i.e. diluting from the higher tier cards to sort of balance them out. Because I can see, like, when you play Arena at the higher levels, when you're up to like 10, 12 wins, it's pretty much all mage.
Yeah.
Pretty much. You hardly see anyone else. And they're sort of like, okay, that's not really that much fun, I would say. Because it sort of gets to be predictable, right? It's predictable.
But would you not like the challenge?
I think some people would, some people would not.
And do you
That's the
think
thing.
that the people that would not are in the majority?
That I have no idea.
Because
I can't really comment too much on this stuff because I rarely play Arena or anything. I just don't think I'm all that good at playing Arena. When I have tried to play Arena in the past, I don't think that I'm very good at drafting particularly well. So as far as I'm concerned, the fact that they're removing cards doesn't really make that much difference to me because I don't really play Arena anyway.
Oh, then yeah.
But I think I saw a Reddit post. Earlier today that suggested that maybe it would be cool if, say, for one of the season rewards at the end of the season, instead of getting like dust or golden cards or something, you could maybe get an arena ticket instead. So you get a free one free go on
To
Arena.
incentivize it, essentially.
Yeah, so that people who aren't good at Arena can get a bit more practice without having to spend 150 gold and then losing 3 matches. Which I thought was like a quite cool idea. I quite like that. But again, I don't know. I don't know if
But
that's the best.
is your issue to do with poorly drafting, or is it to do with the competition that you're up against, or is it to do with the combinations that you get through your deck?
Yeah, a bit of both really. Like a lot of the time I'm just like I don't know. Is this good? Is this bad? I don't.
Is this good? Is this I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I've messed it up. I've completely done this play wrong. I've completely messed it up. But
the thing is,
before I do anything else,
but the thing is though, like in Arena, you may not have played wrong, right? Because the opponent could have anything about it, right? You can't tell what kind of deck your opponent is running.
No, that's true.
Right, in Arena.
That's true.
Because you can't run a specific deck in Arena.
No. Unless you get really lucky.
Unless cards are removed.
Well, yeah, I guess.
And they angle you towards a specific type of deck.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my
it
fear.
really...
That's my fear,
Yeah.
that because they're kind of going, okay, well, people have bitched and moaned about these classes not being powerful enough or whatever.
So
right?
I'm looking at these cards, right? I'm looking at these cards, and I wonder if they're doing metrics on selection, right? Like it, because I know what you're trying to get. Like, oh, are they specifically removing these cards to curve us towards this strategy or that strategy? I wonder if they're looking at the metrics for selection.
Oh, no doubt they are. No doubt.
Like,
but
they're looking at it and they're saying like, okay, no one's choosing these cards. Well, what if they run into a selection where all 3 of them are available? Which one do they choose? Well,
why not
let's
change the
remove
card
them
tiers
all.
as opposed to removing them? So that whenever you run into a specific card, it'll automatically be pulled from a specific pool, along with a bunch of other cards that are in the same pool. And then
Well,
you
the
select one of
cards-
those.
The
cards
cards
from
are
the pool.
tiered by rarity right now, right? So that
So
would
why
be,
not tier it by selection?
I don't
As
know.
opposed to removing them
Maybe
outright.
you know what? Maybe they might do that. I mean, we sort of predicted the standard mode, right? Way back in what was it, January or something like that. We sort of predicted standard, so they might actually change it to tier.
Ben Brode, I want my royalties.
We know you're listening. We know you're listening, Ben.
Ben, I basically do your job for you.
Wow.
No, no.
What?
No, because then
What's he
he's gonna
gonna do?
put some. He's gonna put a troll card in the game, just for you.
The Grayson.
The Grayson, the Gray Sun.
Oh
Ah,
man. What would it do?
I don't know.
Very little.
That's Ben Brode. I do his job for him.
It'd be a 0/1. It'd be a 0/1 token. Oh, it'd be like a card that summons Gray Suns. Right, and they're all just 0/1 tokens.
0/1 tokens.
It will
Yep.
strike them.
Still more
what the
effective than Ben
fuck?
Brode's.
Oh no, you're playing the heroic chess. Oh, good luck, dude.
Yeah.
It's so
Well, I lost the very, like the introductory one, so I'm probably gonna lose this one as well.
This one is many times harder. Like, the introductory
Proper
one is actually
positioning
quite
is
simple.
key
It's
to
straightforward, a
victory.
bit easy
Get those
compared to
double
this one.
attacks.
The heroic one is it's more challenging than the original one. But you know, it's straightforward enough. It's doable. I've done that one.
You've beaten the heroic chess?
No, I've beaten the heroic introductory.
Oh, the heroic introductory.
Yes,
Okay, I was about to say, if you've beaten heroic chess, please tell me how.
Oh, I've done it like 5 times then.
I mean, look at this bullshit.
This is
First of all,
bullshit.
the enemy deck has how many more cards than you do?
A lot by the looks of things.
Well, it has 23. I have 8.
Yup.
Wow.
Yup. Good luck. Good luck. Have fun.
So it's 30 against 15 cards essentially.
Yep. And
Ooh,
also,
lordy.
enemy hero power can destroy your leftmost minion,
Yeah.
which it will do every single time.
Hasn't done it yet.
Wait for it.
It's out of
He hasn't
mana
got enough
now.
mana to do it now.
Oh,
Every single time though,
because
Matt.
he's
Every
flooding
single
the board.
Every single time.
Every single time.
Pretty much.
Oh,
So
White Knight.
the interesting thing about this one is you actually want to have a even number of pieces, right? You don't flood your board, because if you have pieces in between pieces, like the way you have now, they will attack both of them. Watch, when you end your turn, you'll see. Boom, boom,
Fuck him up.
double heals. Yeah, fuck 'em up. Hey, you got one.
Got their healer.
Hey.
And there it is, cheat. Boom.
But because he's got an odd number, it means he gets to attack me twice.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not.
You don't have many
White
pieces.
White
If you
Queen,
run
so
out,
good.
You will
You don't have many
lose.
pieces. If you run out, you will lose. No shit.
Shut up, Barnes. Or not the other one. It's not Barnes, is it? That's the other
It's
one.
Morose, the
Morose.
servant.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is definitely one of the hardest matches I've ever played. Like one of the hardest single players. So I actually like what they've done with One Night at Karazhan. I love the writing. I love the ingenuity. Like the new boss mechanics are quite good. I like them. It's just they weren't hard enough.
Yeah.
You know.
A slight
Um,
upscale in difficulty.
Yeah.
Not too much, obviously, because you want to make it accessible enough and make it everyone able to get cards. But I thought that previous adventures
think-
were better.
If you gave all the bosses, like all the bosses aside from the chest boss, that 15 armor, then that would be good. Like, what's the fight that stands out most to you? Before we wrap up the podcast.
Oh, it is probably this one, to be honest with you, because the other
Yeah.
ones I thought they were fairly. Like they didn't stick with me because I completed them in one go, right? So it's just like boom, fucking nailed it. On to the next one, right? Although with that said, I thought the one towards the end with the portals, the immunity and world
Yeah.
Another
Fury was
spite.
cool.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good fight.
That was it was cool. It's like 2 automatic buffs on the board, and then block them with your minions in order to take those buffs. But if he takes away those minions, he gets his own buff back.
Checkmate.
Yep. Which
Really
he can
enjoyable.
do.
Yeah, which he has done.
If you have a minion with less than 3 health on the Wind Fury one, he will take another shot.
Yep. It's good. It's good. It's a cool idea.
Let's see, what one do I like the Ilhu fight.
Which one is that, man?
Terrestrian Ilhu, last boss of the menagerie. It's where he is immune to all damage except his own imps. Like his imps have death rattle,
yeah, that's
deal
right.
damage.
That was super easy.
I like it
cool.
because I
All you had to do was like have a mage deck with like arcane missiles and arcane explosions and stuff like that. And it's just like, well, that was that.
I used the rogue with like whirlwinds and shit like that. No.
Yeah, yeah.
Or not
Even
even
that,
whirlwinds,
yeah.
but fan of knives.
so
It was cool, but it was
I like
quite
the
easy.
Ilhu's fight because it sort of it helped me practice AoE and board control with some decks that I've been experimenting with. That's the only reason I like it. Thematically, I like the big bad wolf.
Yeah. It was
Thematically,
cool.
I like the big bad wolf. It's like all of your powerful minions only have 1/1s. They're
They had
only
that
1/1.
Romeo and Juliet one as well, right?
Yeah, the Romulus and Julianne.
That sorry,
She plays nothing but taunts and buffs.
the one
and
gets sued by Shakespeare, I suppose.
Shakespeare's
Yeah. Well, that's what it is in the actual raid. Is Romeo and Julian.
Right.
like she plays nothing but taunts and buffs, and he just goes face every time. Just face. He is a huffer. He's a 4/2
Yeah. He's
card that goes nothing but face. I wonder if that's a bit of a thumb your nose at And all the
Hopper?
Huffer hate. Yeah. The Crone. It's so easy. It's such an easy fight.
Yeah.
Cards on this side of Dorothy have taunt. Cards on that side have charge. It's so easy.
Yeah.
It was so easy. I was able to like kill the Crone with Dorothy. I was using my
that's right.
librarian priest,
You
and I
used,
had like
Faceless Manipulator, didn't you?
Faceless Manipulator, Divine Spirit, Inner Fire. You know, two 2020 Dorothys. One has charge. Like, no, both have charge, both have taunt. Because they're both. No. One has. Yeah. One has charge, one has taunt. Yeah, I know. That's what happened.
I thought I was gonna.
Nope.
Job's done.
No, you weren't.
Nope.
I was close.
You were. No, you were very, very close.
I just ran out of cards.
The final Medivh fight is like, it's like, oh, try this portal. Oh shit, I've just brought through an orc. Fuck. Now try this one.
The heroic free Medivh is. I like it. I like it. It forces you to switch between two completely different styles.
Yeah.
First part is when it frees the orc. The orc hero power, summon 3/3 with charge, go face
Yeah.
every time.
You go face.
And then
Yep.
you immediately, when you clear her, it summons Prince Melchizar. First thing he does is, first of all, gain 10 mana instantly. It doesn't matter when you do it. He gets 10 mana. And summon, what is it? The black hole thingy? Destroy all minions?
Yes, that's right.
Not Doom. But he plays the destroy all minions and then summons a 6/6. I was like,
Pretty good.
Why? Why would you do that to me?
So
Well, it's a really fun fight.
First thing he does, he summons the Smork. You go face, yep. Then
Yep. Just clear your entire board. So that board you built up, that board of taunts to defend against the 3/3s, gone. And the only thing on the board is a 6/6 Infernal.
crazy good.
What about you, Matt? Which fight stood out to you?
Well, the chess one, that one did. The very first one, like the introductory one, I thought was really cool because you just feel super overpowered, which was really awesome. But otherwise, like the very last one, I guess, kind of stands out, but
You know,
only because I had to do it like a couple of times just to kind of make me think like because I wasn't really sure what was happening.
Right.
being perfectly honest, I was kind of hoping they'd have more stuff. Like in League of Explorers, you had the Temple Escape, and you have Minecart Rush, and you'd have the one where Rafam steals your deck.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh man.
I was hoping they'd have more adventures like that, but I also understand why they don't. Because if you do, then players will feel not cheated, but feel unable to, you know, tailor decks to fight the game.
But if they're supplying you with the deck anyway, then it doesn't necessarily matter.
Like those fights, but those fights are fun. Temple Escape, I love Temple Escape. That's such a fun match, and I loved it when they showcased it last year.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, choose this.
And the Minecart one, or even the one where Rafam takes your deck, and they're like, we found these cards lying around. Try this. And it's just like, oh fuck, what even is in this thing? You know?
Yup.
And that's the challenge. That's the same challenge that I actually like with Arena. Is that like not knowing what I have? You know, well, obviously I've selected what I have, right? But not knowing if anything's got a combo, if anything's going to work with each other. You know, that's the thrill of it. You know? Mm-hmm. The challenge.
Let's see. Black Rock. Oh. So apparently, I'm looking through the previous adventures, and League of Explorers is the very first occurrence of you not having made your own deck. In terms of normal boss fights. League of Explorers, that's the very first one.
Really?
Yeah, Minecart Rush is the very first adventure boss fight, quote unquote, where a player does not make their own deck. So I'm really hoping to see more of these kinds of, like, it's a nice breather in between the design aspects.
They are also really good tavern brawls in the future.
They are.
Yeah.
Boss fight.
I mean, if anything, it means that hopefully we'll see some of these come out into tavern brawls in the future, because I think they're probably getting more interesting tavern brawls than they did
I want to.
anything else.
I like this week's one. This week's brawl was really fun.
Oh, the
Yeah.
cart crash.
Yeah, so pick a class and then pick a class.
I liked Boombot versus a Noiltron. I wish they would bring back. I wish they would bring back minion fights like that again. That was just a lot of fun.
Like a loot hoarder versus a friggin' what's it called? The one that deals 2 damage to your hero as a death rattle. The crap, what's he called?
Leper Gnome.
Leper Gnome. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'd like to see a loot hoarder versus a Leper Gnome.
Loot Hoarder versus Leper Gnome. What would the hero powers be?
Draw a card and deal 2 damage to your hero.
So it's basically
No, you got this, man.
no problem. It's cool. It's cool, dude. Just face tank it.
Yeah.
Face tank it hard. Yeah, see?
Turn it
Easy.
around.
No problem.
He's already turned it round once. Yeah, no, I've got nothing.
No,
Well-
you still got this.
and-
And I've got nothing. I've got one card.
And they can't attack heroes. Shit.
Okay.
GG. See?
I don't know, I thought you had it.
I love the
It
chess.
started off really well, and then he just. Yeah.
Love the chess. Love it so much.
Okay, so what we can take from this podcast is that Arena's changing, not necessarily for the better. I guess.
But we have come up with a solution for you guys over there. So hit me up if you want more details.
You know, same house.
Karazhan was good, but not difficult
No.
enough.
Not at all.
I mean, it didn't have to be that much more difficult, but I just think the AI could have done with a bit of tweaking. I'd say, like that. I think it was Netherspite where I just put a tank down, like a taunt down in the one where you only take 1 damage per time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, well, I'll just put a taunt there, and then he did nothing for the rest of the match. It's just like, oh, okay, well, I win then.
Love it.
Like, the AI should be able to figure out a way to be able to get around that, right? Even if it's a destroy a minion card, like a naturalize or something. You know, if you give him a naturalize and then he can get rid of a taunt. But he didn't do anything like that, so it was just really weird and really dumb. And that's been a problem on some of the other bosses in some of the other adventures as well. Like, I think there was
Mountain,
I think it might have been
wasn't there?
it might have been, yeah. I think there was Kel'Thuzad as well in Naxxramas. If you put a taunt out, he just wouldn't attack, and it's just like, wow, I'll just put all these minions out and off we go. It's like, okay, good. So, must do better.
I think we'll give it like a C. Needs improvement.
Yep.
Buckle down.
It's
has
a passing
potential,
grade.
You know, has
If you were
potential.
to-
Needs to buckle down.
If you were to break up that C, I'd give it an A for writing and humor, but
Yes.
you know, lower grades for boss difficulty.
Oh dear, you're looking at an F for boss difficulty if you're balancing it out
Yep.
with an A. Ooh,
Yep.
That's harsh.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
Boss difficulty could have been a bit better. I guess if people want the challenge, they can do heroic, but it would have been nicer for it to have been a little bit more of a challenge in normal.
I think the curve between normal and heroic is too high, or the bar, I suppose, is too high.
I think they had a good idea with the portal cards, but I wish they'd done a portal card for everyone, not just the few that they had.
let's see. They did.
And just in
5?
general, I found that some of the cards were just a bit kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think like, oh my god, this is an awesome card.
Then again, I suppose these adventures are designed to kind of just get you cards, right? So they're trying to make it as accessible as possible to every player, regardless of whether or not they've paid in based on previous adventures or all the expansions, you know?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Well,
But consider what we want, Blizzard. Jeez.
I mean, we already designed standard for you anyway.
Yeah. And I've just given you a solution to Arena without removing cards. So, lads, I'm expecting a
And
check.
if you want to encourage more people to play Arena, maybe do what that guy on Reddit said and say, "Hey, have a Arena ticket."
Do what that guy on Reddit said has never
Yeah.
led to anything good ever.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Never considered that.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. I would tell you what the guy's name was on Reddit so that I can give credit to him, but I've completely lost the thread that I was looking at.
Reddit will do that to you.
So I can't. There was too many other things I was looking at. But some guy on Reddit said it, and I thought it was a good idea. So
I remember there was...
and some other people agreed.
So before Karazhan was announced, I remember there was a teaser about another adventure that was a sort of see the world of Azeroth vacation style. I'm very much looking forward to that one.
Yeah?
It'd be interesting to see what happens next. I guess they wanted... Karazhan is quite good that they brought this out because it kind of ties into stuff that's been going on actually in WoW as well at the same time.
True,
Yep,
yeah.
Legion.
So it's kind of cool that they kind of link those two at the same time. Whether we'll see that... I mean, whether that was just coincidence or... what, I don't know. I mean, Karazhan has got lots of bosses in it, so it was kind of like a good idea, I guess, at the time. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see some other things that are related to stuff that's happening in WoW when it happens in WoW. So maybe we'll see. We'll see. When do we expect the next set of cards to come out?
After BlizzCon.
And
The announcement?
will it
or...
be? I guess they might announce something at BlizzCon.
So
I would hope that they wouldn't announce that it was coming out this year, because I don't think that gives people a lot of time to like complete their sets from.
I think we might be looking at November.
Oh really?
So that's Grand Tournament out, then.
Yep.
Well,
A lot of great cards.
it will be out. Let's see. Grand Tournament and Blackrock Mountain will be out as of next year, not this year. It's still good for all tournaments this year.
Yes.
But next year they will be gone.
Okay.
Is it really just 1 year?
Right. And talking
yeah.
of being gone, I think it's time that we were gone because this has gone on for a lot longer than I was expecting to. But hey, that's the nature
Well,
of
there
these
was an awful lot
things.
of talk, an awful lot of stuff to go through, an awful lot of discourse, you know? But that's what the best podcasts are, you know?
There was. So, thank you, Grayson, for joining us. Again, there'll be links to Brosita Checkpoint channel in the description, so go and head over there to check that channel out and see more of Grayson being cool and groovy. There'll be a link to SuperVinh47's channel also below. So make sure you go and check his stuff out. Been posting all sorts of different stuff recently, which has been really, really fun. I've been enjoying that quite a lot. So head over there, go and check out those guys, and thank you very, very much for listening and or watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Disclaimer,
Thank
I
you,
may or
guys.
may not be groovy and or cool.
Disclaimer, don't do what that guy on Reddit said.
That's just good life advice, really.